Yeah, I was looking at my little sheet that I prepare on the other laptop with my weekly picks, and I was looking at it. It just felt odd to me. I'm sitting there talking about week 8. Week 8. Damn, season's almost halfway over already. It's nuts. Almost halfway through the NFL season. NBA season's finally over. MLB season, NHL seasons are also finally over. In a few days, hopefully, which will probably still draw out to another few weeks for a variety of reasons, the election cycle will finally be freaking over. At least the television ads will stop, hopefully, after Tuesday or Wednesday. Be nice. Just saying. Anyways, we are here. Another week of NFL action, another week for my picks. You look back at week 7, it was an okay week. 11-3 picking winners straight up, 8-6 against the spread. You know, not going to make you a millionaire, but it's not going to have you in the poorhouse necessarily either. So season to date, 72-33 picking straight up winners. Pretty good for me, almost 70% success rate, which is, I believe, higher than I've had in previous years. I don't know what the difference is this year, but I'll take it. Hopefully I can continue. 59-47, picking against the spread. So at least almost halfway through the season, I'm trending a little bit above 500. I will also take that. So like I said, depending on the matchup, sometimes you can make some money using my logic. For the Thursday night game, I picked Atlanta plus the 1.5. I just thought that they were being a bit underrated with some of the fashionable faux pas that they have late in the games and the way they're finding ways to choke. Felt like this was a team that was ripe to go out there on Thursday night and play a little bit better than they ultimately did. So I'm starting the week off with 1-0 in both the winners and the spread category, so I will take it. So let's take a look now at the rest of my picks for week number 8. As always, you are encouraged to go against me. Also, make sure if you're first time watching, smash that subscribe button, like this video, share it around the world like it's herpes or something, but maybe not that way, but maybe in that way. And then click notifications on, click the bell, what the hell, so that way you're notified when future videos are uploaded. So for the Sunday early games, you got the Patriots traveling to Buffalo to take on the Bills. Somehow, some way, the Bills are only 4-point favorites here. I understand the Bills did not play well last week against the Jets, but the Patriots were really, really bad last week. So I'm sorry. The safe play here, I feel like the spread number is a little low for Buffalo. I'm going to take Buffalo minus the 4. You've got the Titans coming off their first loss of the year, traveling to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. Cincinnati, ended up losing late to the Browns last week, so that was a relatively good showing for them, except for the finish, obviously. I like the Titans here in a bit of a bounce-back situation. Could be Tennessee minus the 5. You got the Raiders traveling to Cleveland to take on the Browns. The Browns are 2.5-point favorites here. Raiders coming off of a blowout loss at home to the Bucs last week. The Browns, as aforementioned before, with that come-from-behind victory with the late touchdown pass by Baker Mayfield to Donovan Peoples-Jones to beat the Bengals. In this spot, though, I like the Raiders here. I really can't quantify it, but I just kind of do. This feels like this is a good spot for them to come in and sneak one out on the road, and they're going to need to be able to kind of stay paced in terms of the AFC playoff race. They're going to be Oakland to win plus the 2.5. You've got the Colts traveling to Detroit to take on the Lions. The Lions are 3-point underdogs here. Probably feels about right. Who the hell knows what to expect of this Lions team, man? They play all types of, hold on to your chode ball. I'll take the Colts here minus the 3 in this matchup. You got Minnesota traveling to Green Bay to take on the Packers. I'll take the Packers minus the 6.5 all day long. You've got the Jets traveling to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are 19.5-point favorites. I honestly can't remember the last time I saw a 19.5-point favorite. I remember in recent years seeing 2 touchdown spreads, 14, 15, maybe even 16, 17 points maybe, but 19.5, that's huge. And that could certainly happen here, but I would also caution just a little bit before we think about the 40-plus point blowout is the Jets defense played pretty well last week against the Bills. I mean, they still gave up 6 field goals, but they didn't give up any touchdowns to Josh Allen in that Bills offense. And that Bills offense is at least proven to be competent in 2020. But damn, the Chiefs won big over the Broncos last week. The Broncos are better than the Jets. Yeah, I still got to take KC in the 19.5 spread here. Give me a break. The Rams travel to Miami to take on the Dolphins. It is officially Tua time down in South Beach. Isn't that exciting? As the Rams are having to travel cross country after winning Monday night in easy fashion over Chicago Bears, 24-10 on Monday night. Now the Dolphins come into this matchup. You've got the young rookie, the top 5 pick, the potential future face of the franchise starting his first game in the National Football League. Could be a lot of excitement for Miami on Sunday. Could be a lot of excitement for this team. You might think you got the Rams coming in who are looking like a pretty good team right now. Why would you want to make the quarterback change? Better late than never, I suppose. I'm just going to roll the dice completely and totally here. You know, Tua, I think, could bring a little bit of a different dimension to this offense. They could struggle against the Rams at times, but this is also a tough spot where the Rams are trying to get up for the Monday night game against the Bears. Now you got to sit there in a short week and travel across country to take on the Dolphins. I think my upset of the week, give me the Dolphins plus the 3 to win and surprise the Rams. And then you got the marquee matchup in the early Sunday slate. Beyond question, is Pittsburgh traveling to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. This is one of the true rivalry games in the National Football League, one of the most intense, most physical, most heated rivalries in the National Football League. And you've got both teams, as it seems like so many years over the past decade plus, are right in the mix of things. The Steelers are the lone undefeated team in the National Football League, and the Ravens are certainly right in the mix as well. When I look at this game, this is a big spot for both teams. If Pittsburgh could come in and beat the Ravens, man, that puts them in the driver's seat for the AFC North title. And on top of that, potentially the number 1 overall seed in home field advantage throughout and the first round bye and all of that. Whereas if the Ravens can come in and they win, this would be, most likely their most impressive, their most important victory to date. It would knock the Steelers down a peg. This could be intense. This could be a really, really tough spot for both teams. In this matchup, I like the Ravens at home. So give me Baltimore minus the 3. I look at this and I say, these games a lot of times tend to be very close, come down to the end. I'll take the Ravens here to win one over the Steelers. But Pittsburgh's been impressive so far, I got to say that. When I look at the late Sunday games, you got the Chargers traveling to Denver to take on the Broncos. I really want to ride Justin Herbert here and say, coming off of the victory last week against the Jags, now he goes into Denver against a depleted Broncos team, depleted Broncos defense. This kid is looking like quickly he's going to be the real deal and a future star in Los Angeles. And the Broncos, what do they really have going for them? Yeah, but, this is a Broncos team that came off a recent victory over the Patriots, although that might not mean much in the grand scheme of things, and they're at home. I like the Broncos here. Give me Denver plus the 3. I like them to win. You got the Saints traveling to Chicago to take on the Bears. Give me the Saints minus the 4. The Saints dominated the Bears when they played last year. While the Saints aren't as good as last year, and you might think the Bears are a little bit better than last year, it probably only closes the gap a little bit. As the Bears' offense still stinks, their offensive line is bad. Their run game is atrocious. Their quarterback still stinks, and their play callers are freaking nincompoop moron. Those things stay constant. They have not changed year over year. And then you got the other kind of marquee game in terms of the Sunday afternoon slate. You got San Francisco traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks. God, why couldn't this have been flexed into the Sunday night game? No, we just have to fucking show the NFC least. We just got to show Dallas and Philly. I get it. Dallas has a huge following. I get they're a top 5 media market. I get that Philly's a top 10 media market. I get that they have a lot of fans all over the place. But there has to be, at some point in time, some type of measure or level of you want to put your best teams, your best matchups, your best games in those spots. And when you consistently try to always just pump up one team like they do the NFL with the Cowboys, when the Cowboys stink like they do this year, you're shooting yourselves in the damn foot because you're programming the fans to think that the Cowboys matter more than everybody else. Well, when the Cowboys stink, which they definitely do this year, then why would anybody care as much? This should have been flexed out of Sunday night. This should have been dropped in. If you want to sit there and split the difference, then you could have put it in a 4:25 slot in the later Sunday afternoon space. This should have been either Pittsburgh and Baltimore in the Sunday night matchup, or it should have been San Francisco and Seattle. It should have been. Especially since we just saw Seattle again in another entertaining, thrilling Sunday night football matchup. Give me a break. I want the Seahawks in primetime, not these 2 train wrecks from the NFC least. And Philly is favored by 8.5. That feels like a lot. I know the Cowboys were horrendous last week, and it feels like bettors are starting to totally fade on them and saying, no, they're done. Damn, that's a big margin. I like the Eagles to win, but I do like the Cowboys to cover the 8.5 point spread. As these teams, are both bad. So you might say the Eagles are better. Certainly wouldn't disagree with that at this point, but god damn, they both stink. Then you go to Monday night, you got Tampa taking on the Giants. Tampa big favorites here, no surprise. 11-point favorites. How the hell is this on Monday night? Not flexed out. I have no idea. But that said, the one danger for the Buccaneers in this game, big road win last week over the Raiders. Next week, they host the Saints, another NFC South matchup, big type of matchup there with certainly playoff and divisional race implications. There's this kind of that sandwich game where you're taking on the lowly Giants. It's a trap game. You could feel, like they get into a lull or they're not as up for it, and all of a sudden the Giants come and really stick a game to them. And I think that could certainly happen here. Look, I'm not crazy. I'm still picking the Bucs to win. But the 11-point spread in this potential trap game, I actually like the Giants to cover that. Call me crazy. So give me Tampa to win, but give me Giants to cover the 11 points. We'll see what happens this week. I feel kind of good about my picks, which probably means that I'm due for a train wreck. That's all I'm going to say.